How we doing, folks? Old Cougar here. Tonight, or today, or whenever you watch this video, I want to talk about two of the rare tanks that we have in game. They're lower tiered, and the first one is the Tier 3 TD, French TD, the Renault UE-57. Now Renault was obviously taken over by AMX, but originally it was built from Renault. It was built on the Chenillette chassis, weighed 2.7 tons, it was only 9 feet 4 inches long, it was 5 feet 11 inches wide, and had a total crew of 2. And in this image you'll see there's 5 men on that tank. It is tiny. It's only 4 feet 2 inches tall. Now, it was originally produced from 1939 to 1941, and there was just over 5,200 units made. And in May 1943, the French forces wanted to fit a British QF 6-pounder gun to it, what we now know in game as the UE-57. The size of the gun with the shield meant that the crew had to dismount to fire the weapon from the rear, outside the tank. Ludicrous idea. This was abandoned as it was found inappropriate, and units were then reverted back to the normal uses as artillery tractors and light tanks, and some of them had towed tractor units, little trailers behind them carrying ammunition. It was a rough tank to be ordered to use. But with the fall of France, the AMX factory was then taken over by the Wehrmacht, and some varied designs were produced thereafter, one of which had 4 Wolframin 40 rockets fitted to it, either 28 or 32 centimetres. The variants changed. The 28 centimetre one was the smoke canisters, and the 32 centimetre one was the high explosive ones. They used these to support infantry troops on main attacks. You know, they would fire the rockets off from these silly little tanks to sort of blind the enemy for the units to move in, the artillery to move forward, and the infantry to take positions. And they also used the 32 centimetre rockets for high explosives to bust up bunkers and ditches and what have you. The rockets that you see in this picture here are the same rockets, the Wolframin, as you see in the Tiger P variant in the game when you have the legendary camo fitted to it. So I've did a video on this beforehand, so it's worth going back and see. But here's a game for you to watch and see how the tank plays. I hope you enjoy. How we doing, folks? Right, as I said in the lineup, the read 2, I'm in the EU-57. Yes, Tier 3. I decided that Tiers 8, 9 and 10 were just, excuse my French, pissing me off, so I wanted to test myself. Give myself a little extra mission. See how well I could do in some of the not so often played rare tanks and other tanks that nobody ever wants to play for specific reasons. And the reasons this one I don't want to play often, or others don't want to play often, is it has 9mm of armour at the front, 6 at the sides and 6 at the rear. It has a 2-degree gun depression. So and the dispersion is pathetic. It has an aiming arc of 7 degrees left and 7 degrees right. It's absolutely pathetic. Now, as I stated in the lead up, showing you the photographs, the gunners have to go outside the unit to fire the tank. As you see, the gun is fitted on the back, and those round nodules that you see there are the head gaps for the, the two crew members, the commander and the gunner, who fall into place as the observer. Oh, there's a murder. Got one into him. Maybe get another one into him. He's not looking at me. He hits a little harder than I do. I only usually hit between 90. It pens 105, but it only has damage of 90. There's an 85 and a 94, so you can see it's not that great. But it's a 4-second reload, so it's not too bad. Well, just roughly 4 seconds. Can I get one in? Yes, I can. Oh, high roll of 99. Wow. But this tank is... it's one you've got to put your big boy pants on for, even just to take it out of the garage and click battle button. It's a tank you've got to be either stupid or brave. And I don't know what category I fall into, but never mind, I'm here. It's 100% peak boom hide, because as I said, it's got no armour, it's got no gun depression, so it's no good over the brow of hills or anything like that. 2 degrees is absolutely nothing. And as I've said often, it's one of those rare tanks that stays in the garage gathering dust underneath wraps. And you only take it out when you're completely off your nut, or you give yourself a test to see just how nuts you are. But this is Mines, a standard low tier map that appears when you're running. Obviously Mines is an encounter game because there's no caps on it, bar the base cap. Can I get down into him? Yes, I can. Thank you very much. Now, it's 2 on 4. The other lad in front of me has got 83 health points left. This looks like it's going to be a tough ending. But I do have my third strike. You'll see the little icon above my tank. Well, below the tank, above the health points, which I have 305 of left. So there's the Chiha gone. The PS35 is quite a decent tank, well armoured, so it should be... well, I was going to say he should survive a couple of shots, but from a Marder 2, no. Definitely not. But I've got a 13 health point one-shotter over there, which I think is... Looking at the icons, that has to be a cruiser. Is that a cruiser? Yeah, cruiser. And the other one, as you can see, is the Marder 2, which is the other TD in the red side. Now, going by the mini-map, it was over on the left-hand side, over by the lighthouse. There's the cruiser there. And he's going down that way, but where is that Marder went? He was over in the hills next to the lighthouse. I dropped a couple of shots into him, but I don't know where he is now. There he is. There he is. He's got 32. So he's a one-shot, and the cruiser's a one-shot. I've got 305. I can take 2 from the Marder, and it would take 2 or 3 from the cruiser if they were lucky hits and they got decent rolls. Now, the cruiser is one I want to get first because he's quicker and he's got a turret. So, bam! Thank you. He did hit me, but as I said, it would have took 2 or 3 shots for him to put me down to a one-shot. Now it's just the Marder here. He's coming up. He's coming up. I am loaded. So is he, obviously. But he's got 32. Now, I want to get a better angle so I can turn him. Yeah, he's trying to bait a shot, dodging back and forward there. But I'm not going to move. Camo nets are reset, although he's right close to me. And I have my other 2 things there. Close quarters is kicking in. If he peeks a little bit further, go on. That'll do. That'll do. Donkey. Yeah. Right. That was a decent enough game. 790. I got a first class for it. I got 2 thumbs up and a lucky. But I checked the players after the game. I went back and done it. And if you look at the player and Marder 2, He's a 67,000 battle player, 55%. Their PS35 was thingy, and the other guy was 49. So these are not just ordinary new players. These are players doing the same as myself, going down in the lower tanks. Okay, now that that one's over, the next one I want to look at is the Tier 2 light tank, the Mark 7 TETRARCH. It was produced 1938 to 1942. It was designed by Vickers Armstrong and it was built by Metro Camel. It was adapted from the light tank Mark 6C, what's commonly seen in game as the light tank Mark Vic, but it's a 6C. And it had the Ordnance QF 2-pounder gun fitted to it rather than the machine gun fitted to the previous models. In game it falls under the Russian family and the Russian lines, this being valid because during the war 20 units were given to the USSR at that time under a Lend-Lease agreement. Now the TETRARCH, similar to the American M22 Locust, as it was assigned to some of the British airborne divisions and used in airdrops from Hamilcar gliders. Around 20 were used in Operation Tonga in June 44 during the Normandy invasions. But by August 44, most of them had been replaced with the Cromwells, and they were obsolete by 1946. There was one used for training up to about 1950 roughly. There were some variations on design, one of which we know in game as the Electo self-propelled gun. But these were never used operationally by the British forces at any time. They were just test tanks really. That and the light tank Mark 8. But as said, none of them were ever used in battle and war or ever. They were only tests, because the war had been done by 1945 and these were done 1946 onwards. But here's a battle in the TETRARCH. I hope you enjoy it. How we doing, folks? Right, this one, we're in the Tier 2 light tank, the Russian TETRARCH. It is Russian, as I said before in the lineup, the pictures, because Britain gave the USSR, or Russia, or whatever, 20 as a Lend-Lease. So they can be classed as Russian tanks in game, although they are British. There's one in the hand, there's another one in the hand. He's hit me, I'm no happy with this. There's nobody else coming uphill behind me. They're not pushing the hill, they're just sitting there. Oh dear. Right, look at the minimap, there's two round the back on base, coming round the back of us. Drop one into him there. Oh man, you're in the wrong place there, get away back, you've got 6 health points left. Get out. There. Oh come on, you clueless, what are you doing? You absolute muppet. Oh man. Yeah, you can't expect anything else in the lower tiers. Sometimes there are decent players with decent battle counts under their belt who play the lower tiers. Some of them constantly, I might add. Some of them constantly. There's one lad I've got a video on who plays nothing bar the Kenny Otsu. He's got 3,600 aces in the thing. That's all he plays, the Kenny Otsu. Yeah, he's got a fantastic win rate and a fantastic ace bar and so many Rossini eyes, but all he plays is the Kenny Otsu, which to me is meh. No thanks. But anyway, gets back to the game. We're a tank up, but I've got them in front, beside, behind. They're all over the bloody place. All over the place. What have we got? 6 on 4. And an AMX over there. What's he do? That's the BT2, BT7.
We've damaged them.
Thank you. 10 TP.
Gotcha.
What's this over here?
Enemy armor is hit.
Drop another one into the back of him. Side of him, rather. Yeah, I'll take your 12 shot. Boop. Thank you.
Enemy vehicle
Right, what have we
destroyed.
got now? Oh, dearie me, dearie me. Two on, and the other one's are way back up in spawn, looking at the map here. Drop one into there for him.
Penetration.
Another one at them. Tracks. Yep, that'll do. Finish.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Right, what have we got left? Just the one up in spawn. Let's turn around here. Come on, Vickers. Come on, Vic, give some space, man. Move. Go to your right, or I'll go to the left. Oh my god. Bots. Right, he's up in that bush. That's where he was last, because I remember looking in the mini-map. And that's where he was. So if he's got any sense... Oh yeah, he is there. Told you, behind the bush. But he's not behind the bush enough because he's spotted.
We've damaged them.
There's one into him. And there's two into him on the left and the 14. And that doesn't map to your light get him. Yeah, right, what did we do there? That has to be a second or a first at least. 831. Yeah, first class will do me. 5 damage, 3 destroyed. So there we have the TETRARCH. Another small, low tier rear tank that you hardly ever see. Worth playing and having some fun. Hope you enjoyed those ones, folks. Like, leave a subscribe if you haven't. Always appreciate it. And if you've got any relays or replays that you want shown, I'll use them in a spotlight. Cheers, folks.